everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'm super excited to share to you guys a special video that fulfills an assignment for my translation course taught by Miss Dian. So in this video, we will explore the techniques of translation using a beautiful story about kindness. So I will highlight some specific section in different colors to show you how translation works. So let's get started. Okay, so first, let's look to the original story. It begins with a boy named Rafi who lives in a small village, and the text describes his curious and cheerful nature. So here we can focus on the words that express the personality like curious, cheerful, and loved by everyone. But before that, I will explain the first highlighted in yellow color. So this translation, so this is once upon a time. It's translated to in Indonesia to dahulu kala. So it used adaptation translation because in Indonesian storytelling, dahulu kala is a traditional phrase that sets the stage for folklore and similar to how once upon a time used in English. So this method is allows the translation to resonate culturally with the readers. So in Indonesia, we usually use dahulu kala, pada zaman dahulu, pada suatu hari, like that. And next, the green one, if you can see, actually, most of this text I used to use literal translation, but I'm not highlighted it's all because this text would be green, like all of green. So I just use some, for example, like in a small village surrounded by green hills. It's translated to di sebuah desa kecil yang dikelilingi bukit hijau. So actually, the green highlight is each word is translated directly. But this technique works well here because the meaning remains clear and straightforward without losing the original context. And next, the blue one. Didn't have two pennies to rub together. It's translated to hidup pas-pasan. So this is idiomatic techniques. Why? Because they didn't have two pennies and rub together is a idiom in English. That means that we don't have any money. That means they live pas-pasan, hidupnya pas-pasan gitu. And for the curious, cheerful, and loved everyone, it's a descriptive techniques. Why I use to translate curious into penuh dengan rasa ingin tahu? Because if we use curious in Indonesia, curious is penasaran, ingin tahu. But if we use ingin tahu atau penasaran in this context, it's not suitable, it's not fit to the context. So I use penuh dengan rasa ingin tahu. So the reader in Indonesia is more familiar with this phrase. And next, noticed. So this noticed, he noticed something sparkling under the water. Noticed here, I translated the notice to melihat. Actually, notice is like menyadari, but I use melihat because if we use menyadari, Dia menyadari sesuatu yang berkilau di bawah air. It's not really fit to this context, so I use melihat. And next, feeling sorry. Feeling sorry is also like noticed. It translated to merasa kasihan, because if we use word for word like feeling sorry, merasakan maaf, it's in Indonesia it's not familiar. We don't use that phrase, so we usually use merasa kasihan. And for the pink one, he jumped in and found a small golden fish trapped in a net. So it translated to, tanpa berpikir panjang, dia langsung menceburkan diri ke dalam air dan menemukan seekor ikan kecil berwarna emas yang terjebak dalam jaring. So the means is same, but in Indonesia we don't have jumped in and found a small golden. Jumped in, innya tuh kemana itu? Innya tuh to the sungai, to the river. So to the water. So I use ke dalam air to make it clear. Next, also the pink one is, to his surprise, the fish spoke, "Thank you for saving me, kind boy. I will grant you one wish." It translated to, betapa terkejutnya dia ketika ikan itu tiba-tiba berkata, "Terima kasih sudah menyelamatkanku, anak yang baik. Aku akan mengabulkan satu permintaanmu." So the pink one is free translation. So free translation, we can use another word, another structure, as long as the meaning is still the same. And then there is another idiomatic, like caught between a rock and a hard place, translated to berada di antara dua pilihan yang sulit. And then your kindness will bear fruit, translated to kebaikanmu akan berbuah manis. And kill two birds with one stone, translated to menyelam sambil minum air. And went home with his tail between his legs. It's also an idiom, and it's translated to pulang dengan rasa malu. And next, the orange one, like didn't show up, but the fish didn't show up. What does that mean? So in Indonesia, it's translated to tidak kunjung muncul. So this is use expansion technique. And the last one is also the pink one. The pink one is also a free translation. Raffi learned that kindness was the key to happiness and that helping others was worth its weight in gold. I used to using free translation for this phrase. Raffi belajar bahwa kebaikan adalah kunci kebahagiaan dan membantu orang lain adalah harta yang tak ternilai harganya. So it's more understandable to Indonesian reader. So I think that's all for the analysis of the techniques and methods of translation. So thank you for watching. I hope this video gives you some new understanding or better understanding of translation techniques. And remember, it's not just about changing words, it's about sharing feelings and stories across language. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye bye.